All right, the token store, found in the marketplace right here at the top. Token store. The game currently has two types of tokens: boss tokens and dungeoneering tokens. Similar to gold or credits, these are other currencies you accumulate doing certain actions in the game. We'll start here with boss tokens. So you can see I have 21,000 of them. I can purchase 4 different things. Trinket fragments came just a few months ago when trinkets were introduced. Before then, you have runic leather, goblin cave tea, vial of orc blood. A nice way to provide some content to the game that's not dependent on other players populating the marketplace with these things. If you want to do alchemy or wanted to do a cave dungeon or needed a runic leather, here's a way where you and your boss tokens could get that item. You purchase it just by here. I'm going to purchase a vial of orc blood. That's it. Item purchased. One at a time. No confirmation. Just click and then that's how it works. If I flip over to the help site here for a second, boss tokens. So boss tokens are acquired by fighting global bosses. You get them from fighting global bosses, which appear in the right-hand column. You have to do at least 100,000 total boss damage before you start to earn tokens. You could think of it as a way to discourage people from creating multiple accounts and farming this, right? It's not something a whole bunch of new players, day one players are going to be able to do. So you have to participate in bosses for a while with no reward except for the gold you get per that hit. Now, after 100,000 damage, you will get 1 token for a miss, and then 2 or more tokens for a hit, and then that number scales from 2 to 8, depending on what your total damage is. So I'm going to go back to the game for a second, go over to my home screen, click on my name, and you can see total boss damage, just about 89 million. So I earn, at 89 million, I earn 4 boss tokens per hit. In a few months, I'll hopefully be up to that 125 million and start earning 5. With the latest release, though, at patch 11, the damage has been reduced for especially gatherers who were getting a lot of their damage from ruins and jewels. So I'm getting maybe 2/3, 1/2 to 2/3 of how much damage I was doing prior to this patch. So it will be harder for me to get up to that 125 million than it was to get up to my 88 million. I'm back to the game for a second. So this is why, as a gatherer, I focus a lot on accuracy, because a hit, even at low damage, 4 tokens versus 1 for a miss. So you get rewarded every round you participate in. If you're hitting, much better reward. So accuracy here, very beneficial. And then if I'm not training accuracy, I would train attack, because again, more damage means I get higher and higher in that reward table for the tokens. Now, something to point out. All right. So now, how to redeem tokens? Now, I showed you here on the site, though. I've broken stuff down mainly to inform some players about how to get the most bang for your buck, how to get the most return for your dungeon token. For your boss token. So runic leather costs 5,000 boss tokens for an item that's only worth about 6 million gold. Compare that to the Goblin Cave Key, which at the current meta, 200 tokens, 500,000 gold. Vial of Orc Blood, which has been at this kind of 2 million price for a couple of months. And then the Trinket Fragment, 5,000 tokens only for 4 million. So that final bit in the table here, you could see gold per boss token, depending on how you redeem these, you're getting the most gold per boss token for the vial of orc blood. So for those not familiar, this would be an alchemy component that would be made into a potion. For the autos potion, which as of a couple patches ago, what was it? Has it always been stackable? Yeah, I'm forgetting something, but something made a vial of orc blood shoot up from something like 200,000 each to 2 million, and I can go back in the patch notes and remember what that was. Now, here's another table explaining the same thing. For 5,000 dungeon tokens, you can either get 1 runic leather, 25 goblin keys, 20 vials of orc blood, or 1 trinket fragment. Here's the estimated price and then the profit you can get. So you can sell this thing for about 6 million gold. The Goblin Cave keys, if you sold all 25, at the moment it's about 12.5 million. The vials of orc blood, 40.8 million, and the trinket fragment for only 10% of that. So it's important to understand, even if you need the runic leather to expand your rune belt, or need the trinket fragment, you are better off buying orc blood, selling the orc blood, going into the market, and then buying the item that you need off of another player. So let's see. Okay, going back to the game here, going back to market, token store. Okay, jewel slots. Now on my home screen, I have all these jewels. Now you as a new player may have nothing there or just a single sapphire. And what I often see people do is they end up going into the market, finding a nice ruby. Oh, it's cheap. Oh, it's better than a sapphire. I'll just buy a ruby. They'll come here to manage jewels and they'll try to equip that ruby, and you can't because you don't have a ruby slot. Under market, under token store, you'll see, as a new player, you'll see 1 of 5 and then 0, 0, and 0. You need to unlock these slots. You need to purchase them using Dungeoneering tokens. Every time you purchase it, the price goes up. So just to show that information, here's the jewel slots. Here's the sapphire information. Ruby. Let's see. Emerald. And diamond. So your first sapphire slot is free. And then after that, you can see there's a couple that are about 1,000 each. Then you have this other tier that's about 12,000, 10 to 12,000. You've got another tier that's in this 50 to 60 range. And then finally, this kind of 275,000, 300, missing a 0 there, to 350. And you get those through completing dungeons. So if I go to dungeon, okay, we'll just sample this. Each one of these dungeons will return a different amount of dungeon points. I believe goblins are about 20. Oh, there we go. Stop. So we'll just stop right here on this screen. So here, because I've boosted my what's that personnel for this? My dungeon keeper. Because I boosted my dungeon keeper, I'm getting currently a larger amount than the typical. But the goblin is worth about 20 Dungeoneering tokens. So when you see that your first purchase in one of these slots, say for your first ruby slot, at 20 Dungeoneering tokens, you'll need to complete 50 goblins, 50 goblin dungeons. So these are the dungeons. And we'll have a longer video later on that, but you have your Goblin Key, your Mountain Pass, your Desolate Tomb, your Abandoned Tower, Haunted Castle, Vault, and what was added in the most recent patch, the Treasury. As you descend down this list, the dungeons are a little bit harder. The reward tables get bigger. The dungeoneering tokens, you earn more per completion. And now with the latest patch as well, to help facilitate easier purchasing of these jewel slots, we have a dungeon keeper, which is a personnel that you can boost up and get more dungeon tokens per dungeon. And I think that's it for the token store.